Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Titanfall 2 mini podcast where we talk about the mini article that Respawn put up about the tech test and some feedback. Today I'm joined by...
VS Faggot.
Jordan, Bruce, Corey, me.
Oh, there it is, that's the
He
roster.
said,
So, the first issue was pilot mobility. Respawn said many players are wondering why we changed the mobility from Titanfall 1. Well, we identified two major issues we wanted to solve in Titanfall 2. The first was the lack of player predictability would often cause players to be shot from the back or sides. So, Jordan, real quick, I want to say Battlefield 4 has this problem. You constantly get shot from the sides and back. And in a running gun fast-paced shooter, you're always going to have this issue. So why would Respawn even bother trying to address this issue? It's just something that affects more map design than pilot movability. Right?
Maybe with pilot movability or mobility, so I say movability. Mobility, you can outrun more bullets than you did previously.
That's true. But I'm just saying, like, Battlefield 3,
from the
Battlefield 4 didn't change anything that Battlefield 3, like movement and mechanics, and now you get shot more from the sides. That's all to do with the map. So why did Respawn think changing the movement would affect that? What kind of dumbass idea is that?
I mean, that is true, because think about the map from the beta that was just a giant fucking field. I mean, it's just an open map. You're just gonna
You're
get
always
shot
gonna
in the
get
back
shot from, yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
You're
like,
just
oh,
gonna
we
get shot in
changed
the
the
back and
movement.
sides all the time, just because it's an open map. That's what happens.
Alright, so, and then they go on to say, while flanking is an important part of gameplay, death often felt random instead of skillful. So, I mean, that's just so annoying when you don't feel like you die by outplayed. But that's more map design still. The second issue is that close-range firefights were overly chaotic due to erratic player movement. So changes to pilot mobility stemmed from a desire to improve our gunplay and not desire to slow down movement. So what I take away from this is that the firefights felt overly chaotic due to erratic player movement, aka strafing, and that they wanted to improve the gunplay, aka having you die quicker, is what I take away from that.
That's wrong. I mean, gunplay doesn't feel chaotic because you don't aim down. You just shoot with the car at close range and you win.
I mean,
It's
well,
not
this
so
is
much as
what this is
always
why they
feels
changed
chaotic.
it. This is what they said from Titanfall 1 to 2. This is why they made those changes, because of those issues. But I
They
don't.
might slow the movement down. That way you can't dart around the fucking map like that. Like in fights, you can't get out as fast. You can't run away. Maybe that's what they're doing.
Well, that's what they said, but I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, that's part of strafing and gunfights and 1v1 in skill. Is like the fact that someone
Who
can
can
outstrafe
outmove-
you and
who can
outdodge your
outmaneuver,
bullets is
yeah.
like a good thing. That's what you want in games, unless it's Halo Reach, and then that's bad, where they just run away.
Or
Outside
Rainbow
that.
Six Siege.
And then they go on to say,
You
we'll be
move it half
tuning.
an hour, don't bring up that gun.
We'll be tuning airspeed and wall running speed to be faster. While investigating this point, we discovered some unintended side effects that were causing players to lose momentum while running. So they're going to be making the game a little bit faster pace. Make you guys happy?
As long as it flows nice, I like it.
Players should once again accumulate and retain more speed when chaining wall runs. Additionally, we're testing scaling back some dampening factors that were limiting bunny hopping, as we don't want these restrictions to impact normal traversal. So just more speed changes. As far as the Titan meter, we made some changes in Titanfall 2 with the goal of rewarding players for playing game mode's objectives. However, we observed the problem that players can try to play the objective but fail, resulting in slower than intended Titan acquisitions. We still want objectives to be the fastest way to get a Titan, but the goal of every player being guaranteed a Titan per match hasn't changed. So they're just going to tweak the Titan meter a little bit more.
I mean, but that did change when they made it a kill streak instead of a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, some dude gets on there and he's absolutely doo-doo, never gets his Titan because he doo-doo.
That's how it
I
should
think
be.
they should go back to the
You
timer
suck.
system, honestly.
If you suck, you don't get your shit.
Yeah, but that's not what the original design of Titanfall 1 was. Titanfall 1, and they even said it, is it's supposed to be a game where 50% of the fighting, it was like 50% of the game is pilots and 50% of the game is Titans. Titanfall 2 is like 80% to 20. It's like you play as a pilot and then you get your kill streak. Well, if you're playing a game where it's 50-50, the Titan isn't even a kill streak at that point. It's just you continuing on. And like I said, me personally, I like the idea of a kill streak, but that's just the COD in me. I guess. So what made Titanfall appeal to people is the fact that it was like 50-50. It was like vehicles and Battlefield. It's just part of it. You deal with it.
I like the timer system more just
Yeah,
because, like I
but
said, you shouldn't have to miss out on half the fucking multiplayer experience just because you're bad. I mean, it was just
but
like
I
what they
mean,
did with the Battlefront. Like, didn't y'all say back in the day, Battlefront, the hero was always given to the number one player on the team, which wasn't fair for people who
oh
weren't good at
yeah.
the game compared to now where it was just a pickup on the map and whoever saw it first got it. You shouldn't
Well,
miss out on half the game and the experience of a Titan just because you're bad.
I mean, but like, did
I
you
like
ever feel? Well, I feel like it's still easy to get your Titan. You don't really have to try that hard.
I mean, technically, you could kill grunts until you get it, but you have to wait for grunts to spawn in. You have to get there in time before the other team wipes out the grunts, especially in games like Bounty Hunter, where grunts are part of getting money. Everybody's going for the grunts, so if you go on grunts only, it's still going to take you a long time to get your Titan.
Well, I mean, it's just like at the end of the day, they didn't want the Titans to be a kill streak. They wanted the Titans to be just part of the game. And Titanfall 2 felt more like a kill streak, and that was the issue, is the way you acquire
It's
them.
definitely a kill streak.
It's supposed to
Absolutely.
feel like you're constantly in a, whatever the teams are, 6v6 battle where Titans are constantly on the map fighting. In a pilots, everything's a constant meta. And the way it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, here's the pilot meta. Now everybody's in their Titans. Here's the Titan meta, and then now we're back to the pilot meta. And I don't think that's what they wanted. They wanted it just to be constant variation. You never know what's going to be happening. Different breakdowns and
I
shit.
didn't feel like. I mean, we would get like 2 or 3 Titans each in the game, so I didn't feel like, oh, we're missing out. But
Yeah, but
Apparently-
that's just us.
Yeah,
Not
it's
not
apparently us.
everybody is as good as us.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing from the internet. People struggle to get Titans. Apparently, I don't know. They also suck,
Some
but
people who hop
and it was
into
also
a
the game
first-person
mode
shooter
too.
for
A
the
lot of
first time
people,
or something like
a lot
that,
of people
yeah.
play the domination game mode, which they struggle to get Titans in that also. I mean, that's their loss, though. I mean, there was no AI in that game mode, so I don't know why you're playing that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is fucking Titanfall,
Yeah,
dude. If you're not playing with AI, then you're taking another portion of the game away. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. I agree with people. Like,
It's definitely easier to
like-
get a Titan out of Bounty Hunt than the
Like-
domination game mode.
I went into Titanfall 2 hoping that I would just be getting Titanfall 1. In my head, I had everything that everybody ever said about Titanfall 1 positively. I'm like, all right, well, these are all good things because everybody said they're good things. So I go into Titanfall 2, and none of those good things were there. And I also remember for my stint in Titanfall 1, I'm like, yeah, the AI did the game, it's fine. It's cool, everybody having Titans half the time in the map. You never know, you might run into a Titan. Like, that's awesome. And then Titanfall 2 is totally fucking different. And it's not like, oh, it's different because they made it better. It's different because they fucking stripped it and they took away what gave it character. Is they removed what gave it life.
And not to mention that feeling in Titanfall 1 of seeing a Titan and having to plan it out in your head was completely gone, which had to do with it
Yeah.
not feeling like Titanfall. Because like in
Yeah.
Titanfall 2, like we talked about in our other,
I loved
Um,
taking on
podcast.
Titans in Titanfall 2.
but like we talked
that
about
shit
in
was
the guns video on the Titans, Aaron, you had to be a skillful pilot, take down a Titan in Titanfall 1. It didn't feel like that in Titanfall 2, which also took away from that Titanfall feeling.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you
Uh,
saw a Titan in the Titanfall 2 tech test, it was just another player on the field. It didn't feel as challenging to take down a Titan, which also
that-
made it.
that
feel
brings
like
us
not
in-
a
Titanfall 1, I would more likely like run away from a Titan, get to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. I
and-
was
and then
scared to
wait
fight
for more
Titans in
people to
Titanfall
attack
1.
it.
In
But in
Titanfall 2, you just
Titanfall
hop on there,
2
steal the core.
Hell yeah, I saw that Titan. I grappled onto him, dodged his punch, and steal his core.
So that goes into the next thing they address is Titan survivability. They say that it's a complex issue that they struggle to address for several reasons. First, we've changed from Titans having energy shields to a new Titan battery system, which we believe improves rodeo gameplay and rewards teamwork. Apparently that's here to stay by that phrasing alone. In Titanfall 2, rodeo was lethal to Titans, forcing pilots to disembark and engage in a 50-50 fight. What the fuck? In Titanfall 2, the rodeo pilot steals a battery and damages an enemy Titan. If they give the battery to a friendly Titan, the Titan receives a shield and the pilots get Titan meter points back. As players become more familiar with the system, we expect that Titans will live longer and this is an area we will continue to monitor leading up to launch. So apparently they're content with the survivability of Titans, and they think more people will do the battery system.
I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, we
like
played
the
in a
battery
cohesive
system,
team
but
that used the battery
Titans-
system they wanted, and we still don't like it. The exact way the Titan survivability is.
Yeah,
So-
because I still think Titans
So-
are a little bit too squishy, man.
So I mean,
if
just
you turn
that
on
article right
amped
there is
weapons-
saying that people who were playing are idiots, but I'm here to say, as people who weren't playing as idiots, I still
I
disagree
also
with them on
think
this.
I still think that has a lot to do with the fact that it took an insane amount of fucking bullets to kill pilots. Like, I wouldn't have so many people rodeoing me if I could kill them when I shot them. Like, I think I think that's a really big contributing factor, is the fact that if you were in Scorch, there was no way to kill a fucking pilot. Like, it was over. Your gun wasn't gonna hit him. Like, the only way
Yeah.
to like consistently keep pilots from stealing your core was to team up with a friendly pilot and just punch them when they got on your other Titan's back. Like, if
ma-
you're
you know
just
what they might
calling
be
your Titan by
thinking?
yourself, you're not going to be able to kill them. That was the problem with Titanfall 2.
Yeah, pretty
I feel
much
like if they
every
made the
Titan had
guns
like
better, I can make my Titan last longer without having to worry about batteries.
Well, that goes into
a lot of times when I
the.
was playing, I saw like a Titan rolling around, like a pilot just kind of following him, and whenever he got rid of the pilot, would just shoot the enemy pilot. Which I don't know how I feel about that. It's so, but yeah, Titan weapons need a buff.
So, and that's some other things actually going on from that point is another factor in the balance of Titan's gameplay in the tech test build is heavily affected by the limited amount of content we release in the build. Once again, that's your fault, not ours, though. For example, some Titans aren't in the tech test there's some Titans that aren't in the tech test that have strong defensive capabilities, or my bad, abilities. Certain Titan kits provide defensive upgrades, and even pilots have a boost that can improve Titan defenses. So, like, not content, but shit that's not in the beta that would actually drastically impact everybody's thoughts on it. Once again, though, this is a huge division issue. Don't give us enough of the game, and you get screwed at launch. So I still say it's their fault. Lastly, there has been a lot of tuning since the tech test build that will tone down the amount of damage many weapons deal to Titans.
Okay, I agree with that.
And then that makes them not as squishy.
Yeah, so
'cause
they're
you turn on
nerfing-
amped weapons, get that noob tube, dude. You'll take out a Titan shield. You pretty much take out a Titan in almost 3 clips.
So they're doing that, but it also turns into rock, paper, scissors because they're saying certain Titans have defensive upgrades and even pilots' abilities that help your Titan's defense. So you have to go into a completely defensive Titan spec build then. Like, that's a little awkward. Oh.
Well,
And
that's
then-
a lot of speculation when you get into
Maybe-
that. We'll have
Well, it's
to
not
see.
Maybe the-
speculation.
well,
It's
you
just
know-
this is their exact
you know,
shit. The way
the
they phrase it. I mean, that's what they're gonna have. They're gonna
Well,
have a
yeah.
Titan that's good at being
Well-
anti-pilot, and they're gonna have pilot abilities that are anti-pilots trying to kill your Titan.
Yeah, but like the Scorch Titan, you know, he's more like for killing other Titans. The Ion Titan was good at killing pilots, so you know maybe it'll.
Yeah, that's where I
balance
beg to
itself out.
differ. I can show you gameplay where it was insanely hard to kill pilots. Just
Well,
because that gun wasn't accurate at all when it comes to
Well, no.
hitting Titan. And pilots move around so fast that it made it insanely hard to shoot pilots.
Yeah, well, I I said fuck the gun. I just used the RB ability and snipe the Titan, snipe the pilot.
As far as
That's the
Titan
only reason why-
mobility, we've reduced the number of baseline dashes by 1 compared to Titanfall 1, but all Titans have access to a new Titan kit that gives them additional dash. This is to balance the new mobility or defense options available to specific Titans. This is to balance new mobility or defensive options available to specific Titans. That's interesting the way they phrase that. The tech test build, however, doesn't include our fastest Titans. Despite our confidence in our top-end speed, we have heard your feedback that Ion and Scorch feel too slow. What the fuck?
When are
It's a-
people gonna
it's a
take
fix.
notes from Overwatch and Battleborn's betas?
Was there any other
Overwatch and
betas?
Battleborn gave us pretty much the game.
Yeah, but I mean,
and-
there's other games like Doom and Doom, Halo Reach, Black Ops 3 to a certain extent. Like, that's the game. Like, sugarcoat all you want. You got the game, essentially. Like, you know based on the previous games that this is the game. But Titanfall's in, like I said, it's in that awkward fucking position where you do a beta for the sequel game where the first complaint was there's not enough shit in it, and then you release the pre-tech alpha thing, and then there's not enough in it still. Like that's their fault, not ours. That's not like like them sitting there smug like you guys don't know what you're missing out on. Trust me, you're gonna be wrong. It's basically a middle finger saying, yeah, you just wasted your fucking time.
Yeah, I mean it's exactly what Division did.
Like,
oh yeah, there's more content to come, and then there was
yeah,
never
and
more
it's like,
content to come.
you know, and I feel like a little bad, like, oh, Aaron, it's just a tech test. They're here to test stuff. Yeah, well, I'm also a consumer, and I'm here to test your product before I buy it. If you're gonna sit here
Before I
and say,
spend $60 on
yeah,
it,
before I spend $60 on your game that you have so much confidence on, why don't you have enough confidence for us to even play the real game to a certain extent? It's because something's fluky, and I don't trust you. And especially after we've been burned with Division and Titanfall 1 with its lack of depth in the end, like you don't have the upper hand to say trust us, and so it's a little dirty.
And you're working with EA. Come on, cards are stacked against
So
you.
it just doesn't feel like they're like trying to sell us a game. They're just trying to cover their like ass at this point, and then like they're still a little too smug, and I don't like that. And it also says here that Titan dashes will recharge faster. Basic FYI. Oh, here this one ought to be good. So it says here map design. Some of our tech test players have asked if the relatively flat and open design of Homestead is an indication of a new direction of Titanfall. The answer is no. When designing maps, we strive to make them unique experiences. For example, Homestead changes things up by creating islands of pilot gameplay where long-range weapons can be effective. This upcoming week in a new map, Forward Base Kadal, or Cody, Kadal, I think it's an I, will be available for play. There is a wide variety of maps for the game. We'll be showcasing more maps over the next couple of weeks on our website, including more traditional Titanfall maps. Once again, this is them going, yeah, we gave you shit to test out that probably wasn't, like, why give Scorch...
We gave you shit to
Why
test
give
out.
you Scorch and Ion, which are generic Titans in compared to one? Why give two shitty maps that are shit even compared to one? Why give out all this shit that's shit compared to Titanfall? Like, this is their
why
fault.
not get? Why do you give us the two maps that feel nothing like Titanfall 1 maps? Why don't you give us the maps that feel like Titanfall 1 so like it tells us, okay, yeah, they're not straying too far from the original formula that made Titanfall 1 so good.
Like,
I don't even know why they didn't give us the fucking samurai Titan going with the sword.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what everybody's saying. It's like, something's fishy. Like, why would you show that? Why would that be the first teaser and it's not even in the fucking pre-tech test? But you give us a big ass ogre slow Titan that's, there's not like a huge skill gap to it minus his abilities, but it's not like anything game changing. And Ion Titan, which is just a generic, Strider Titan. Why not show us these badass ones that they're actually different compared to one?
Why not show us the good content? That way it sells us on the game. Like,
it just doesn't make any. And then when we say we go, hey, this game's kind of generic and flat and shit, you're like, oh, that's because we kept the good stuff. Like, well, that's your fault then.
don't be mad when we don't buy it because all we played was the generic bad shit.
Yeah, man. And especially based on the player count for people that were playing the pre-tech test alpha on Xbox One, there wasn't that many people playing it. It wasn't like huge numbers. Like, it was very low. So I wouldn't be surprised if it has an awkward
Division
launch at
ran out
this
of fucking codes to give people. Like.
Okay, and then moving on to HUD, we've read player feedback about the HUD being too busy. At launch, Titanfall 2 will have menu options that allow players to turn these features on and off based on their individual preferences. Additionally, there have been concerns about enemy outlines making players too easy to see at a distance. We think it is an important feature for friend or foe identification with a substantial amount of visual customization that will be available at launch Titanfall 2. We're going to bring in the fade distance for enemy outlines so they don't reveal pilots at extreme distances. I like how they go, we think it's important, like they have hard in their head, like here's what we want for our game, and then but the community's like, yo, this is really dumb though. Like, yo, being able to see someone outline is very overpowered. Didn't you guys play any other games in your life?
I use that to my advantage so much when sniping.
Yeah, it's very
basically
overpowered.
Just getting wall hacks. I felt my pulse.
It's very overpowered, and it's just a lot of this. Once again, it feels like you don't even play your own fucking game, do you? Old Gangster Ant's favorite quote, but it just feels like. Jordan, you have any thoughts on all this?
Too much handholding right now?
Too much boyfriend alerts?
Too much handholding? You know how like the game, like too much handholding in video games is like, for example, it's like, like taking down a AT in Battlefront, or like it just goes autopilot mode and you just watch and do it.
Mhm.
I feel like in this case, the broken aim assist literally handled.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You know-
the aim assist was enough hand holding. Jesus
And
Christ.
when you rodeo a Titan, that's hand holding the entire time. You
Yeah.
don't really do anything.
Yeah, you just watch it. You just sit there and watch.
I'm gonna get anally pounded like I did in Dark Souls.
I mean, what's worse? Like,
Oh, thank
what's
God
worse?
she's on hold.
Having to watch, having to like just sit there and watch your guy do something that you want to do, or doing a quick time event.
Or something.
Would you
I don't
want it?
know.
Would you
Fuck your
rather
quick
be a
time
quick time
events.
event?
No, fuck a
I
quick
mean,
time
because
event.
people really don't like quick time.
I
Like,
hate
oh, it
quick-time
breaks the
event.
gameplay. But not doing anything also breaks the gameplay.
Well, that's why there's
should it go
always
back
this
to, like,
third
the
option
old-
is making something good. I thought it was funny as fuck when what was it? It was one. I was watching one of the YouTubers talk about a game needing more art design. Like, oh, fuck, what game was it? It was one of the games we play. It was I don't know. Anyways, the point was is he was like, oh yeah, they could add more stuff to the game, but that would take more time for the art team to make art stuff. And I'm like, dude, if there's one thing I've learned in life, coming up with art for a video game is probably the easiest thing ever. People are so creative
There's
and
no
imaginative.
boundaries. Yeah,
Dude,
there's
I
no
was
boundaries
like,
when it
yo,
comes
that
to
is the
games.
biggest excuse I've ever heard. You're a fucking idiot. I
It's
can't
not like
remember
you're
who it
stuck in a
was.
box when you're designing stuff like that.
It might have been like level cap or something. I don't. It was for like DLC for a game, and I forget what game. But it was like, yeah, they could have done it, but that would take so much more work. And I was like, yeah, you're an idiot. It does not. Like, if you've ever been to Reddit or ever seen like any real artists, like any of the sites that
Fan
show off
art?
art, or any site that shows off game art, like, please, kid, there is infinite
Imagery.
ideas.
I mean, it's just
by
like
smart
cartoons.
people.
Look at how good at people are coming up with cartoon characters, and there's no boundaries when doing it.
It's like, oh, we can't come up with gun camos. Yeah, right. Look at all the camos they got in Black Ops 3. Like, come on, man. Like, some of that shit's really fucking cool, man. Some of it's really lame, but I mean, there's. And this is just Treyarch. I always think of Destiny as like the best art. Like, look at all the creative stuff they came up with.
Destiny has a lot of good art.
A lot. And so I never want to hear this excuse like, oh, it's the art team. We don't want to put more pressure on them or it's too much work. Like, that's bullshit. I really do. You need to hire some more people in your art team. Then that's your problem. Apparently, you got one guy working there.
Apparently, you have a bunch of Dylans, a bunch of squares working there. Can't think
I
outside the box.
It's gonna bother me. It had to be like Matimio or Level Cap or someone like that, man. I can't remember though. Did any of y'all watch that video by
Choked
one of
up.
them?
No. I don't ever watch any of the videos. I just wait for you to explain them to us.
The fuck is up with Jordan?
He's bait. Gun him down, Aaron. Gun him down.
Anyways, do you guys have any final thoughts about Titanfall 2? And the apparently very lack
I
thereof
just want to
changes.
know why they strayed so far away from Titanfall 1. That's all I want to know. Is why they give
If
us
they literally
doo-doo
would've
content
done-
Based
to
on this
test, and
article,
why
they said
that
because
doo-doo
they know what they're
content is-
doing. That's the exact.
if they would've
That's
did-
exactly what
I
they
don't
said.
trust that.
The reason why they changed is because
If
they
they-
know what they're doing.
If they knew
If
what
they
they were
would've just
doing,
did
they
Ti-
would have just take Titanfall 1.0. Like you would have just took
They would've
all
took
the
Ti- they
stuff that
would've
we
took-
had to
no.
complain about Titanfall 1 and make it better.
They would have took Titanfall 1 and just added more Titans, more guns, and more customization as in-game content.
I mean,
That's
so
all
there's.
they needed to do.
Man, I guess
Like
this
the
is turning
groundwork
into a
was
podcast.
like handed to you for Titanfall 2, man. Like
So the question is,
Titanfall 1 laid it
people,
out so perfect.
Level Cap said it was like in his video. He's like, well, maybe they didn't do that because people didn't keep playing Titanfall 1, but that was probably for the in-game content. And people do sometimes have an issue with the same game again, or they say they do, even though that's not true with Call of Duty. We've seen the sales figures that actually still continues to sell decent if it's the same game. So I always operate under the logic, if it's broke, don't fix it. Titanfall 1 was really good, so don't even fuck with it, and they fucked with it for no reason. And so that goes back to my original conspiracy is I think they literally got told by Activision, yo, you know that game that was actually pretty fucking damn good? Yeah, go ahead and fuck with that. Because I don't understand why else you'd make these changes. It was literally,
Make Call
Titanfall
of
1
Duty
was
look
literally really good to great. And now they like, Jordan, on a scale, how big of a change did they make to Titanfall from 1 to 2?
From scale from 1 to 10, I'd say 8, 9.
Yeah. Like, and that's no exaggeration. and that's the fucking
I
problem.
mean, it honestly
Why?
felt like Titanfall 2 was trying to cater to a COD audience, which is not who played Titanfall 1.
No.
And we've all learned that when you try to cater to a COD audience, from Medal of Honor to Homefront to Battlefield 4
Rest in
to
peace.
It doesn't work.
to Call of
It
Duty
does
Ghosts,
not work.
to Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, when you try to cater to COD fanboys, no
Infinite
matter the
bullshit.
fucking game, to fucking Halo 4 and 5 adding sprint and all this other shit, you name the fucking game and show me, and just doesn't do bigger than the previous ones. So catering to COD audience doesn't work. One day they'll realize it, but it'll be too late. There's a reason why Rainbow Six Siege is on fucking fire and is a great fucking game, and there's a reason why fucking Titanfall 2 is going to suck donkey dick, if it's any indication by how many people even played the pre-tech test.
You made a great point there. There is a reason why Rainbow Six is really fucking good.
It's because it's original,
Rainbow
it's
Six, the
badass.
whole game of it is a whole nother thing on its own though, because like it brought a whole new type of game to console.
There's a reason why
favored.
There's a reason why Battlefield 4, even after it got over its fucking hiccups and struggles and its bullshit and catering to a COD audience, once it finally figured out who the fuck it was, there's a reason why it's more popular than Star Wars Battlefront, which kind of catered to COD people in the end, with all its bullshit and gimmicks. There's a reason why Battlefield 4 is more popular than Star Wars Battlefront. Any final thoughts? Titanfall 2. This weekend there'll be a new map apparently. You guys excited?
There'll be more time. That's just more time for us to shit on it. I'm excited.
Go subscribe to that dude Too Cold 26, man. $1.
Man, I'm about to kick him from the podcast.
Shameless plug, man.
Yo, it's not. You ain't even a Titanfall channel, man.
You ain't even a channel with y'all 2 subscribers.
Exactly, man.
Yo,
What
yo.
the fuck?
That's why I don't mind doing my shameless little propaganda. Or
So you want people to come watch you even
advertising.
though you don't have any content on your channel to watch? This makes no sense.
If
Good
I-
thing nobody watches these videos, or it
Listen,
wouldn't even matter.
Dude, you know how we made a video shitting on C-Plan? We need to do one of those to Bruce.
Nah,
did
he already
one
made
of
a diss track on me.
No. Not just a diss. We need, like, me and
Roast?
Aaron and Dylan to
Need a
roast.
roast
Yeah, we
him?
need a roast video,
Roast.
not a diss
Man, don't
video.
Oh, okay.
Don't
We
bring
need a
Dylan
roast
into this.
video. We
No.
made a video roasting C-Plan. Now we need a video roasting Bruce. It's gotta happen now.
Fuck you guys.
All right, Jordan. What about you? Any
I'll take
thoughts
your
on
bit.
Titanfall 2
I
I
can't
don't
have
know,
no
just thought it
bitch
was
on
really
this
this
funny.
weekend?
Just thought it was really funny that like the peak hour of Titanfall 2 was like the peak hour for Battlefield 4, a 3-year-old game at this point. Had
Wait,
the same
what?
had the same amount of players.
Wait, what does? Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay, that's what I mean. The play. What was it on Xbox? Do you remember? It was like 40,000 people on it, or was it less? I can't remember on Xbox.
It's like 30,000. Oh wait, for Titanfall 2,
Yeah, Titanfall 2.
it was like in the
Peak.
mid 20,000s, like 25.
Yeah.
Battlefield
It
4
wa-
had like 30,000.
Yeah, it was really low.
It was really low. Like that was gross. Cause what was it? Division wasn't Division and like Overwatch.
Gross.
Was it Division at least when it was in its
Division-
beta? It was
Division
fucking high up on the
when-
list.
When Division's beta came out, they ran out of codes to give to people. That's so many people playing it. There was a shit ton of people playing that beta.
But do
I
you
mean, it
remember
was
like?
what, like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot of fucking people playing that beta.
I could have swore Star Wars Battlefront beta was at least way more popular than this shit.
Star Wars Battlefront beta had a
shit
shit
ton
ton.
of people. Just because of Star Wars. Overwatch had a ton of people playing its beta.
Just because it was Blizzard, but and then again, Overwatch's beta was the actual game.
Yeah, but so was like I said, the other ones were. Black Ops 3 was essentially the fucking game. You had like 3/4 of the game in that beta. But all right, and like Doom was pretty much the game at that point. Like, you got a good grasp
Yeah,
of
it
it,
pretty much showed you the whole multiplayer.
and it's like, well, they can do what they do at Division. Go, oh, but there's still more in the game. But you know, that's like then what you gave us is just a small test. Well, we're gonna
But
review
if
the
you
small
look back
test
at the
in
past
2016.
like 5 years of games, if people were smart, they would stop trusting that. Because what we've been burned on so many games when people say, "Oh, trust us, we have more content in the game. Trust us, the good stuff is what you haven't seen." Every
I
single one of
already
those
have
games have
negative trust
flopped
for
at
EA.
launch. Like,
I always have negative trust for EA.
That's fair.
Never trust EA, man.
I think, yeah, it's pretty much Corey the way it's untrustworthy. That's a good joke. Thank you, Pierce.
Oh
Thanks for
my
that setup. No, I think you know what the
It's
way
all part of the
after
setup.
you said it, Corey. I think it does make sense that like trust and shit and like betas should be trust builders is a valid reasoning nowadays.
Yeah, as much as we've been burned in the past, if you want us to buy your game, show us the best content in betas. Sell us on your game first chance you get. Don't just keep telling us that there's content to come. We've been burned
Yeah,
too many
what
times
Overwatch
hundreds hundreds of dollars on these games that have disappointed us at launch.
Because there's
Corey, that might be the only trustworthy thing you've said in your life.
Because there's very few games that I buy day one midnight launch anymore, and I have no problem not buying Titanfall 2 at launch. No fucking problem.
Yeah, I
So,
have no problem.
especially if you're one of these games, I don't have a problem buying at midnight. Like, so you can fuck off. I'm only getting Battlefield 1 and Destiny Rise of Iron at launch. That's it. That's it. And I'm waiting until Battlefield. I'm waiting to pre-order Battlefield 1 till the day before, and Rise of Iron, same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
In the podcast.
Yeah, well, this has been Gangster 7. What a great podcast.
Yeah. Y'all stay frosty and keep shooting.
Yeah, my shooters.
Yeah,
Jordan,
shoot.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm ending this.
I kept stuttering. I don't know why.